financially. See, my motivation is different. You can't pay me a coaching fee to make as much as I make from your success. You guys understand that? See, I'm not paying out for you today how this works, but if I help you guys make $1 million, you cannot pay me enough for me to coach you to replace what I can make from your success. Therefore, I sell no coaching. When you're a leader, I do it for free. Does that make sense to everybody in here? So what we do is different. Say yes. All right. It's a different model, right? So therefore, everything I'm telling you in this series is here for your benefit. It's here for your success. Okay? It's here to help you win. It's here to help your team win. It's here to help you create results that you've never been able to create before. And I will walk you through exactly how, and we must keep it simple. Everybody say, keep it simple. All right, we got it. Okay, so here's the deal. This series is going to be different for a couple of different reasons. Number one, okay, we are going to show you through this series everything that you need to know to go from zero all the way to get up to a point where you're making $30,000 a month. And when you make $30,000 a month, how many years is it before you make $1 million? 3. I'm just going to predict that it may happen faster for some of you once you get there. Now, some of you in here will be able to do this faster. Some of you in here will be able to do this maybe a little bit slower. But that's okay wherever you are. Wherever you are, you can win. Does that make sense? I don't care if you're broke. I don't care if you got $1 million. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you're somebody that works in Safeway or Walmart. Doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you have the opportunity to win and that you stick around long enough to see that win, because if you take the actions, you're going to start getting a different result, and the results will compound and compound and compound over time if you stay consistent. You excited about that? All right. So here's the deal. This series is a little bit different. It's focused with different intentions, and it's interactive. So we're going to reward you as you're going through this, right, for taking the right actions. Those of you who are watching online, we'll talk about how we're going to reward you as you go through. You probably see there's a meter over there. As you take actions, the page will actually be interacting with people. Now, all of you in the room, the reason why we do that is what? Because if we give somebody an interactive learning experiences, they're going to retain more, they're going to do more, they're going to take more action, they're going to get more results. And if they get more results, who else gets more results? Everybody say me. All right, exactly, right? If you want to win, you got to have your team win too. Does that make sense? So there's going to be a step-by-step guide through making your first money and then getting to $1 million over the next 3 years, all right? And it's very important to understand, if you guys don't pay attention to this entire series, you will lose money, all right? A lot of people, they get something and they're like, oh, okay, and they watch 10 minutes of a video and they're like, okay, I got it, and they just go start trying to do it. You will lose money if you don't watch these videos and if you don't pay attention today, immediately right now. If you're not in your chair for every minute, if you got to go to the bathroom, wait till I'm done talking, hold it in, pee on the floor, I don't care, right? And go later, doesn't matter, right? You can go to the bathroom later when I'm done talking. We'll be taking breaks after each one of these sections, right? But those of you who are on the internet, do not think that you are going to make $1 million if you don't watch every second of every single one of those videos, right? That makes sense to everybody in here? Who's excited about getting your team to actually watch the video? Yeah. All right. So it's important. Now let's talk about for a second the importance of trust, right? Who in here knows that without trust, it's impossible to get results? You guys know that? All right. Now it's not just about, it's like if you don't trust your spouse, or you don't trust your partner, or you don't trust somebody you're working with, you feel a little bit different about it, right? So with this, it's important to trust us with this process. I don't care if you trust me with everything, right? But trust me with this process. And here's why. Because this process and today's information, okay, has produced a lot of results. More results than gurus, more results than people that do product launches, okay? We've created more millionaires per dollar sold than any direct sales company in history has created. And I'll tell you something, this information, right, is worth millions of dollars. It is. Just the information in this video over the next 20 or 30 minutes. All right? It is worth millions of dollars. And you want to make sure your new people see it all and actually do it. And guess what? If you don't do it, will they do it? All right, so are you going to do it? All right, exactly. All right, so here's the deal. It's important to trust. It's important to trust the people you're in business with. With us, it's important to trust the company, trust us to pay you through the compensation plan. It's important to trust the corporate leadership. It's important to trust the products, okay? And it's important to trust the process, because you act different when you act in faith. My mom was a missionary for the last 4 years, and she had a really interesting story to me. You know, she's Mormon. My parents are. And they just kind of like send you somewhere. You don't like pick where you go. You don't say, I want to be a missionary in Africa and feed kids or something. They just kind of send you to do something, right? And so my mom was like really excited to be a missionary for years. And then they called her to be a missionary in South Africa as the mission secretary, which you guys probably don't know what that is, but it is the most boring missionary job you could ever imagine. It's the person that takes like stacks of papers and bills and like information and schedules and spends 10 hours a day organizing them for people running around like doing meetings who are the leadership in the church, and they sit in a very small room, right? My mom like cried herself to sleep for like the next 6 months, right? But then one night she was praying, she had a breakthrough, right? And I remember her telling me the story because it relates to this process, right? She had a breakthrough, and her breakthrough was how important it was what she did, because without what she was doing, none of the mission could function at all, right? So what she did held it all together. And what she decided to do was to just get lost in the work, right? And she went from crying herself to sleep every day to just feeling on fire to get up and do something that she before hated, right? You guys need to get lost in this work, in the actions that it's going to take to get the results that you want. All right? So let's talk about trust, and let's agree to trust each other. I want you to agree to trust me, and I'm going to trust you. So on 3, we're both going to say, I trust you. Me too. 1, 2, 3. I trust you. Again, 1, 2, 3. I trust you. Okay. So those of you who are watching on the internet, there's a button that just appeared over there. Tricky, didn't I? And it says, it's a trust button. Okay? The video is going to pause, and you need to click that button. That button represents the commitment to trust us through this process. Okay? So the video will pause, click the trust button, and when you click it and have agreed to trust us, we'll resume this series. Everybody say, click the trust button.